Justice for all.
What the hell is that?
It's not me.
I can step one for you.
You ready to drop the puck or what?
Hey, yeah.
I knew that.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Yeah, I don't have one then.
At least I waited until the prayer was over.
What are you trying to do?
Still bad done.
All
Alright, the, meetings come to order, we took a pledge, we're announcing that this process is being recorded. And again, I'll tell you, this is all being recorded. Roll call.
Ed,
Yep.
Mike,
Yep.
Mayor Kathy? Yes. Doug?
Yes. Public participation on agenda items. Don't everybody jump at once. Going once.
I have one, Ken. Why are you
Nate,
taking?
state your name.
No, Kathy Gilmore. Why are you taking the trailer fees off of your fee schedule? I was told the last time if they're on the gas well sites, you are charging them. Why are you eliminating that income from the township?
Number 2 under new business. I don't think. Anything else?
I don't get an answer.
I have no idea.
How'd they
Talk
get,
about it.
how'd they get on the agenda, I guess the question.
Wasn't that a topic of discussion at the last meeting?
Oh.
Then be in their own business then, was it?
We talked about it, we just didn't, you know.
Make it number 7.
Well, we can move it up to old business. Make it number 7 of old business.
This is moving to 7. Yeah.
Which we usually get from the news and
Gotcha.
the attorney's.
Yeah, I don't get an answer.
I don't know what answer you want me to give.
Why are you eliminating those trailers from the gas well sites? That's income that you're eliminating, and you're saying the township's about growth, and you're taking that kind of money off the table? Somebody there had to get it on the agenda for a reason.
I did, because that was the discussion that was had last time, what do we do about, it's still on there to charge people in the community who have trailers that are renting, that aren't on trailer sites, that aren't on well pad sites.
Yeah.
So therefore, the lawyer said the easiest way to do it was to amend the resolution. Take those fees off.
Is that what you said?
I don't recall.
Good answer.
Well, I must have been with him, because I don't recall.
Yes, we had that conversation.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be the bunkhouses that you're doing away with?
No, the
It's
actual-
that's the unconstitutional part that we wanna do
Yes,
away
the
with.
ordinance
Yeah.
actually says,
Well, okay, why don't we talk to that when we get to
When
that
we
part?
get there.
and if
Right,
You've
okay.
made your comment,
Yeah.
and have it for the discussion later.
Yeah. State your name.
Katie Morton, question, why don't you just, if you're gonna make it number 7 in old business, and put discussion on resolution for the trailer fees? So it doesn't say you're eliminating it, and you discuss it, amend it, or
I'll
whatever
do
you
one
need to
better,
do.
mine,
Makes sense?
I put a little arrow, it says 7 trailer fees.
There you go.
Okay. Anybody else? Moving on. Approve the minutes from the regular meeting.
So moved.
I second that.
You had cigars, pipes.
How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
Mike,
Yep.
I vote yes, Doug,
Yes.
Ed.
Yep. Approve the minutes from the special meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
Mike.
Yep.
I vote yes, Doug,
Yes.
Ed.
Yep. Approve the treasurer's report dated July 31st, 2018 to August 27th, 2018. Bank statements and bills and all that are
I'd
up
like to
here.
make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and approve the motion to pay the bills.
Combined.
In
Wait
one
a
motion.
second.
Second.
How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
Mike.
Yep.
I vote yes, Doug,
Yes.
Ed.
Yep. Department reports, code enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't know where it was.
Okay, so last month we had 2 letters sent. Both those properties were in compliance. For the month of July, we had 2 properties on 10th Street. One of them complied, the other has not. We're in the process of seeing if there's any exceptional circumstances with the owner. That's it for the code enforcement.
Thank you.
Yes.
Engineer, no report? We have a report.
We want to talk about range a little bit, just so we know where we're at with Grimes.
I sent an email to the engineer today to find out what his, what was it, geotechnical guy from Pittsburgh. He was supposed to have a written report in regards to Grimes Road, and I sent an email, but I haven't heard back from him today to get a copy of that report.
Basically, it says that the widening of the road is what caused the slip,
Yes.
in a nutshell, and
The what, the widening
the
of?
widening of the road
road.
caused the slip, and Range wants a copy of it, and then they want to set a meeting up with us.
All right, fire department.
In July, we responded to 15 incidents. 8 times we gave mutual aid, 1 time we received it. Our average time from call to arrival on scene was 10 minutes and 15 seconds, and our average time on scene for the calls was 61 minutes and 29 seconds. Those 15 calls, we had 1 building fire, 5 crashes with injury, 2 crashes without injury, 2 medical calls, 1 crash with no injuries, 2 hazardous conditions, and 4 times we were dispatched and canceled en route. And we utilized 601 man hours in July. We've also just received notification from FEMA that we were approved for assistance to firefighters grant again this year. About $22,000 to update some of our rescue equipment on our vehicle. So that was great news. That's one expenditure that we don't have to make then. That's all I have for the fire department.
Fire marshal,
Nothing.
thank you. Office and water.
Kelly,
Tammy and Mike went to a CDL, what did they call it?
One was record management, and the other was for drug testing,
yeah, it's the federal.
probable cause.
Probable cause training for CDL supervisor personnel.
And then tomorrow, Tammy and Sharon, I'll be watching The Office, and they're doing a budget workshop to learn how to adequately do that. Water, there is a leak on Main Street. We're trying to figure out where it is, where it's coming from, I should say. So, I think that's it.
Did we never got the leak detecting equipment?
We did,
Okay.
but it's on the opposite, it's where the shops used to be, by Malva Ritchie's. So it's around in there, but the main line is actually between the 2 churches. So we can't quite He used the leak detecting equipment, but it did not, he could not figure out where the leak was coming from. Now what, we're probably gonna have to dig up the main street. We are hoping not. It's not looking good.
Yay.
Yeah,
Those taps come under Main Street and then,
apparently, yeah.
so it could be any one of those.
Yes, he used the leak detection equipment goes against the,
The line is
the
on
meter.
the church side.
the
Yeah.
main line is on the church side.
So then every house over there,
There's
Apparently.
no valves in there either.
Yes.
To isolate sections. You
So when you put the leak detection equipment against the water meter, he doesn't hear water running. He doesn't hear water running on the other one. The first house that is of the shop side doesn't have a water meter. So figuring out where it is, somehow we think it might be running under the road. Forrest is gonna call the Rural American Water Association and see if they had any ideas before we started digging in the wrong spot.
And we'll have to, if we're gonna be in the road crew has to be there.
Yes.
Because that,
Yes.
we need to dig that,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't hit anything else.
Yes.
411 or 811.
okay, Parks and Rec,
Jackie wasn't able to make it.
They meet.
Police
Yes,
Department.
David.
Yes, sir. For the month of July, we provided approximately 780 man-hours of service. That includes our core time and overtime within the township and the borough. Within those hours, we documented 286 events, approximately 151 calls for service. In July, we initiated 10 criminal investigations to include 2 disorderly conducts, or those are UCR reportable investigations. 2 disorderly conducts, 1 harassment, 1 sexual assault, 2 thefts, and 3 thefts from motor vehicles. Property loss for the month was approximately $765, and property recovered was 0. In July, we conducted 37 traffic stops, investigated 4 traffic accidents. Officers issued 23 traffic citations and 4 non-traffic citations. We filed 0 criminal complaints in the month. Since January this year, Donegal Township Police Department has initiated investigations on approximately 55 UCR reportable crimes, of which 38 have been closed, leaving approximately 17 open or active investigations. In July, officers patrolled approximately 4,386 miles, used approximately 282 gallons of gas. Code enforcement we did, the magistrate's fines collected for the month are included, and that's about it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Road Department.
The guys have been repairing washed out ditches on various roads throughout the township, filling in low spots with 2A and some millings we got off the interstate on roads as well. Southwest has graded and what they call repaired Main Road. I talked to them yesterday and today, actually Gary Smith's boss, be one above him, had him come out and look at it today. In his words, he thinks it looks like crap. The contractor's gonna be back out and they're gonna work on it again till they get it right. The Ely Road slip, which we looked at, we dug some test holes. We have an idea of what we're gonna do, but as most of you know, we're having issues getting stone right now. Kathy contacted Cool Springs. It's taken us 4 weeks to get 16 loads of stone. So ordering stone and getting it, we don't want to open anything up until we have the material to do it. So we may have to put the fence back up on Tom's place until we have verification that we can actually get the material to do it.
Can we wait till after tomorrow to see if they do, because they're supposed to?
Yes, Tammy's contacted the county, who we piggybacked on with the bids.
We,
They're supposed to have all the stone here tomorrow that we have ordered. If they don't, then the county, and we're gonna take action against Cool Springs. The drainage issue on Petroleum Avenue, where the pipe's been needing repaired, is gonna be done on September 11th, weather contingent with the gas company in Claysville. The gas company's gonna do all the digging, since every house through there has a gas line that they wanna repair at the same time. We're gonna give them a dump truck and a guy to haul stuff away. They're gonna provide all the equipment to install the pipe, set the boxes, and we'll provide the material to backfill. The boom mower's broke. Keister's was out. It's gonna have to go there to get, have repairs done. The bridge on Old National, all the debris and the erosion issues have been taken care of from the inspection reports. And the slip on Old National by the township building and below McAdoo's has been paved by Range.
Thank you.
It's Steve, I don't know if you're gonna stay, can we ask him a question about that?
Yeah.
The bid, did you see the bid that we got from
From Russell Standard?
Russell Standard?
Yes, I did.
What's your thoughts? Let me tell you mine first, and then, one, a lot more money than kind of what I thought it would be, not knowing, just lack of knowledge, to be honest with you. And I know we need to patch those areas, from what you said, so we don't lose them, but with some of the ditching issues that we have on some of the roads that we want to patch, I'd hate to do it and then lose the tar and chip too, you know what I mean? Or I'm just throwing that out there if you have,
Well,
if that makes any sense. If we have any type of winter like we had last year with the flooding and that, with some of the water runoff issues,
basically it'd be like getting cut and not having a Band-Aid. You run a lot bigger risk of getting an infection without it.
right.
So if you don't seal those areas up,
Okay, yeah. Now, do you think we could cut the mileage down and narrow it down to more?
possibly, that bid had.
And I'm afraid they can't even make it anyway.
They're not, I don't think they're gonna make it, period. September 15th is the cutoff. Did you talk to,
She's not called me back. I sent her emails back and forth, but we've not got to talk specifically and talk about September 15th.
September 15th is the cutoff line to use liquid fuel money, and
Not gonna,
they're not gonna make it. I mean,
Yeah.
Nobody's bidding, that's why we didn't get any other.
other prices.
When they put in the bid that they would hold the price till next year,
They're not gonna make it.
yeah, that tells you they're not coming, so,
Right.
almost a moot point, you know.
Is there anything we can do, in your opinion, just hope and pray and but would you, let me ask you this.
Short of digging.
Would you take the bid and then, let me ask you that, because I know you guys use different, how does their price compare? I know they give,
They have to ask the solicitor on it, whether we can accept the bid with the right to refuse next year if they don't get to it this year.
No, if you don't want the bid, you gotta reject all the bids and rebid.
I'd say that's what we ought to do.
so my thinking is next year, Kathy and I were talking about this, we could bid the oil, bid the stone separate, and get it laid down.
That's how I've always seen it done, was by the gallon.
And get it
and then
laid,
bid the stone by the ton.
yeah, and get it done, a lot more done for less money.
Yes.
So if you don't think we're gonna get it anyways, let's probably just reject the bid.
That would be my recommendation.
Did you get any more bids then after? That's it?
That was the cutoff, that's why we had the special meetings, we were hoping to get,
But nothing came afterwards anyway.
And if we're not gonna make the 15th, and they're probably gonna go, once spring, we've made it through winter, with whatever happens, so,
The only other option there is digging it up and laying asphalt in there, and that's not an option.
yeah,
okay,
So,
thank you very much.
thanks. Solicitor,
No report.
thank you.
Wow. Send you that.
Previously tabled item, lease agreement for the township buildings and rentals. Anything on that?
Nothing's done yet. Nope.
Oh, they did agree to pay the increases that we didn't.
Yes, the amount downstairs did agree to pay, the rent that has been overlooked for the past year.
Okay. Previously tabled item, create a subcommittee consisting of Chief Graham, Chief Yankusik, Steve Schultz to evaluate the parking situation on the in West Alexander, and then direct road crew to erect state-approved no parking signs and paint the curbs yellow. I don't remember that.
We discussed it, but it's been a while ago.
It's been a while ago.
Other things keep happening.
Yeah. Anybody want to get it off the table?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
previously tabled item, rent increase for the building. Isn't that the same as the top one?
No, because we don't have any lease agreements with them either. Upstairs doesn't have a lease
Oh.
agreement.
Have you been able to talk to her?
Is anybody?
Have you been able to talk to her?
Mm-mm.
Every time I call, I don't get no,
Answer.
I just, might have to go up.
Can we just
I hate-
send her a proposal?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I thought the last time we discussed that, we was gonna send,
Let's lift it off the table.
Okay, we'll go off the table.
Okay. I make a motion to lift number 3, previously tabled item of rent increase for the building off the table.
I'll second. How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
yes, Doug,
Yeah.
Ed,
Yep. All right. Here it is on the table. Do we have a copy of the old lease?
I do in the office.
Yeah. I've never seen one,
I believe the only thing it's missing that we needed it to say was it needed a wood harmless
yes,
for the township,
correct.
because we're not named on their insurance.
the
I believe.
insurance,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
I would like to give them in that agreement, I would like to give them the cameras. I do not like us having responsibility for those cameras. Does that make sense?
Back up a minute, what did you just say, there was a hold harmless? and
There isn't
we're
one.
not on their insurance?
No,
Why not? We should be named on their insurance.
I believe we
That's
are
one of
not.
them. Yeah.
Okay, well, we should be
I'll
named.
double
insured.
check, but I am almost positive that was one of the things that we discovered when we started looking at the leases.
That was one of the things.
Yeah, okay, well, let's make
And a
that,
whole harmless clause is not worth the paper it's written on.
we need to be added as an insured, we need to make sure that's in the
Additional
new
insured?
lease.
You understand where I'm coming from, Chris? I don't think we should monitor the cameras. I mean, we have that should be their responsibility.
Who's doing it now?
The cameras that are up there are wired in down here.
Who watches them?
There's just
We don't.
videotape and there's nobody watching them.
Oh,
For
what are
is-
they for their?
But I'm just
security?
saying, if somebody comes and sees the cameras and they come down here and why isn't somebody watching them?
Right.
It's not.
Okay, we need to spell that out too. Whatever it is that we do, we need to adjust that language and figure out what we're gonna do.
Right. Even,
What do they
even,
expect?
even the keypad
They don't
system,
expect anything, it was put in to protect the kids.
I understand that, but they need to,
it's her business, and
I
she,
understand that, but it was put in to protect the children.
so, I mean.
Okay, well, we
So-
need to figure out how to do that.
Isn't the cameras, are they not only in the hallway?
Yes. Hallway only, public areas.
but how's it gonna protect them if nobody's watching?
It's
also
Protect them when you
in the
need to go
gym.
back and review the tapes, when you get a person coming to pick up children, maybe it's not authorized or whatever the case might be.
If it's too late, that's after the fact.
Well,
That's
you
their-
don't wanna
that-
protect the kids or you don't wanna protect them.
I do wanna protect them. They
Well, then
need to
it's
do it
spelled out.
themselves. That's their responsibility. She's making a buttload of money up there with
Well,
35
The
kids.
fund that was put in, Mike, there was more than just one thing on that floor.
I know.
There were two
That's
other
why I'm
things.
saying,
There were two other
it's
things going on.
outdated at this point.
Here's, okay,
I don't doubt that.
I have a question. Where does the liability fall since she's a private entity business? Like she's,
For what?
for the liability if
If a
they're,
kid gets snatched
if a kid gets, yeah,
or
if
something.
something does happen to a child,
If something
Where-
happens to a child and it's a result of our negligence for some reason, it's gonna fall on us. So if the door's bad and it's our fault, it's gonna fall on us. Something happens to a child and it's a result of her negligence, it's gonna fall on him. But everybody's gonna be brought into this, which is why we need to be named insured if something should happen.
okay. I mean, I just,
But the
you know,
camera and the keypad, I think, is an issue. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of liability would come from putting in a camera system. I mean, frankly, I don't know what kind of liability there would be.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking you. Is it, or does it matter that it's there, or is it our responsibility? Is it gonna be?
So the keypad is,
In the 14 years I've been doing this, I don't know how many cameras we've actually ever been able to retrieve from anything. Less than half of the cameras that are viewed are actually been retrieved and used in court cases that I've seen. So you have a system that works, and you can get the recordings, you're ahead of the game, as far as I can tell. So I don't think there's any exposure
Okay,
there
that's
for
my
having
question.
it. But if we don't wanna be the ones who have to maintain, if it's our system, and we're not maintaining it properly, and we lose the tape, then that's a problem for the township, absolutely. If that's what you wanna guard against, then that's how we have to tailor our agreement. But we need to figure out what the scope of what that is for and who's gonna use it for what, before we can decide.
That's why I'm asking,
Portion
because I don't
of
know.
responsibilities.
So,
Yeah,
and
it
then,
just looked like a liability to me, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
and then the door issue, all the cards and everything.
Well, I didn't even know there was a door issue. Door just
So-
came out of my mouth.
No, well, so the doors are like the key, well, they don't have a keypad, they have with the cards.
Okay.
Just a slot.
They have a swipe system.
Yeah, they have a swipe, you know what I mean, but they're issued by Sharon down here. You can't, it's all housed on her computer, but if her computer's down, if something happens in that system is only maintained right there on that computer in that office.
Okay,
So if it's down, the doors, you know what I mean,
Right.
could malfunction. I'm just, you know,
Right.
and I only learned that when we switched that computer and we couldn't get into
Yeah,
that
the power
system.
outage.
because the computer was down.
The
Yeah.
fire goes down, the whole thing unlocks.
You're right, yeah, but
Whole
if
thing
somebody.
unlocks or
Yeah,
locks?
somebody,
Unlocks.
yeah, but the whole system is controlled by a box in that office, and there's no other way into it except for that one computer. Which, I know it's locked every night, and I know the computer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what if something happens to that computer, and that computer goes down? We can't access, because what happened was, is we had to move the computer program from the old computer to this one, and it wouldn't move. So we called the guy back out. And what's really bad is he couldn't get into it. He had to call the company and find a back door because we didn't have all the right passwords, like, she had them
Yeah.
saved.
So,
It's just an issue. I'm just,
so are we required under the agreement to provide
No.
that system? Who put the system in?
the township did.
Okay.
You
Well,
know.
we need to figure out who expects what from who before we can put this in writing.
Okay.
Okay,
So for instance, are they gonna come in and say, well, we're gonna rent this, but as a part of what we rent, we expect to have a security system operating and functioning? Or are they gonna say, okay, we need to come in here, but we need to make sure we have a security system operating and functioning, so we'll do it, can we use your computer? I don't know, whatever it's gonna be, we need to figure that out.
So we need to have a meeting with her.
We
We
on
need to
that.
meet with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it can go all of these issues can go a number of different ways depending on how we negotiate.
I mean,
Who's gonna be responsible for what?
I agree that the kids need to be safe, but I think too, we need to watch the liability that something doesn't happen in
Yeah.
the township as well. It being named, I mean, I know we might be named anyways, but.
Yeah, we'll get
Need to
named, we
protect.
need to figure out who's gonna take that. Sounds like it was kinda not discussed, or you
I
said
don't
you had a
know.
system up there for a bunch of different
We
things.
had, there was 3 different
uses.
businesses on that
So it
floor.
probably never even came up. You just
No, it
figured
was,
we'd put it in there.
everybody was up there very much appreciated the fact
That you had them in
that
there.
we had them in.
Yeah, well, now it sounds like they rely on that for their business,
I
right?
don't think they rely on it.
Well, we need to figure these things
I
out.
make a motion that we pick 2 people, preferably volunteers, to meet with the business owner, discuss some of this stuff, and come back and give us a report.
I would like one to be Eric. He's the fire chief. He knows a lot of the ins and outs of, you know.
I meant 2 board members.
Oh, I thought you meant 2 people. You said people.
I was liking what you was saying.
Thought you meant, you know, I mean, I like to have Eric too.
Do we have a second?
Pick 2 people to meet with,
Basically form like a subcommittee, yeah.
I will meet with her, I don't have a problem. But
Do you want to second the motion?
I'll second your motion.
Okay. Now, I will
you want to
volunteer.
vote on?
Yeah. I'll volunteer to do the other one. How do you vote?
Read the motion
Okay.
back, please.
All right, so we're gonna pick, tell me your motion, because
We're
you have
gonna-
you had to pick 2 people.
Yeah. Well, now, okay, if we volunteered, then it's just change it to me and you. Make a motion that we'll meet with them and we'll come back and report to the board.
Ed and Tammy to meet with
Is that good?
daycare
Provider.
provider. Hold on. About cameras and security
And rent.
and rent,
Somewhere I have those numbers
and report
written down, I can give
back
it
to board.
We're going on a year here,
Okay.
of
Yeah.
not having a lease.
Yep.
All right, how do you vote?
Second the motion.
Question
Yeah.
before you vote on that, because it pertains to that. So with that tenant, you don't have a current lease?
No.
Okay, so
We
Chris,
have a
I'm gonna
month lease.
direct this
Yeah,
to
we have
you
month to
too.
month, yes.
Same as the old one,
Okay,
month to month.
but, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you should do with the new lease then, to cover your ass, what you're saying about the hold harmless, is you need an indemnification clause in that lease, and also to be an endorsement to be listed on the policy as an additional insured. It's just, there is a difference between having the endorsement with the insurance company.
So what,
Want a citizen to go with you?
What's that?
so what
What'd
we'll
you say,
do
Mike?
is,
He
we'll
said
come
you're next
back,
to go
and
negotiate
then
it.
we'll, you know,
Yeah, we can get Eric and Judy.
No, I'm saying to, is that not right? To
Yeah,
cover the
well, when I
budget,
say
that's
hold
up.
harmless, I include indemnification, I would just do that. I would usually say indemnification before hold harmless. Same thing. But yeah, you're exactly right, you gotta be on that policy.
It needs to be an endorsement for,
Okay,
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
What happened to the motion in November of 2017 where the board motioned to give her a 3-year contract at her current rate?
I guess you have to ask them.
No idea.
It didn't get done. There's a,
2017, I wouldn't have.
the lease is still in there,
I said it
not
was the
signed.
previous board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
has
There's-
done.
So even though the motion was made and they agreed on an agreement, because you don't have a particular piece of paper,
It's not
you're
signed.
throwing that out.
There's no dates on the
We're not
lease,
throwing
it's in
nothing
there.
out. What do you know about it, Doug? You
It was
remember?
approved at the meeting and subject to the same terms and conditions, anything was changing was the rate.
Well, I mean, you can't bind an incoming board to an agreement if it was going on, I don't know, was it November before you guys came in? Am I right?
Yeah.
You came in?
Yeah.
If you would, that
2
wouldn't
months.
be, that wouldn't be effective anyway, you wouldn't be held to that. You could do it if you ratified it, but if you guys didn't,
I didn't
did
know it was
you
there.
actually make
I
a
don't,
lease?
honestly don't
There was
remember
at least
that.
prepared.
Where-
I don't
where
know when it
was
was
it?
ever, when it was ever signed or not.
We don't know any of that.
I don't remember the meetings of it.
Maybe,
I don't
No, I
when-
remember the
maybe,
discussion, but when
maybe
we,
when we meet with her, she'll produce one.
but when we opened the file, there wasn't, there's
Talk about that
no
when you meet
lease.
with
Yeah.
Yeah.
figure out what she knows.
She's
about
like,
it.
we go, oh, wait a minute, I got a
There's a
contract.
lease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll-
And then
we'll
maybe you
find
wanna
out.
take it, but there are circumstances where the outgoing board can't bind an incoming board. But we'll see if that